Before we make this platform move on its own, we're going to add some gizmos so that we can easily control where it's moving, the starting and the end position, and make it easy for ourselves and, I guess, game designers, if we have any on our team, to set these up without it being some big tedious process of trying to find exact positions and type those in. So we're going to start by opening up the moving platform script. And down at the bottom of our script, let's see if I can get over to the left, there we go, we're going to add an on-draw gizmos. This is going to allow us to see exactly where our platform will start and where it'll end, and even see the current position of it along the slider. So if we move that slider, we'll see where it would be. So we're going to start with setting the gizmo color to red. We'll do that with gizmos.color equals color.red. It's a lowercase r and a lowercase c, but the uppercase G and C there. A little bit confusing and a little bit unconventional, but that's the casing for it. Next, we need to get our box collider and figure out how big it is so that we can draw a box that matches the size of our box collider. So we'll say var collider equals get component. And we don't want to just get a collider. We want to get a box collider 2D, which is what all of our moving platforms will have. Next, we'll draw a gizmo. So we'll say gizmos.drawBox, or is it draw cube? I always get that mixed up. It's not a box, it's a cube. And we need to give it the position. So our first position will be position 1. And then a size. For the size, we'll use the collider.bounds.size. Now we'll duplicate that and do another one for position 2. And save. This should give me 2 boxes that show up as gizmos in the inspector. Let's go see, well, in the scene view, not so much the inspector, and they should show at the positions of my my thing. So there we go. I got 1 box to the left and 1 to the right, and that reminds me that I want a wire box, not a regular cube. So we want to draw a wire cube. There we go, wire cube. That's what I was looking for. Let's save, we'll go back in. We should see them no longer be these big blocks that make it really hard to see what's going on, but instead be some normal cubes. There we go. I can see that's the start position and that's the end position. If I move the start position over to maybe like 6, oops, not 63, 6, I can see that the block is perfectly aligned right there. Now, I'm not seeing the current position based on a percent across, so I do kind of want to have that as a gizmo, but I also wanted to show that if I move these positions up, like I put this up at like a 2, you can see that it's going up and above and have this platform going across. Let's go back into the platform and add another wire cube that shows the current position based on that percent across. So to do that, we're going to copy line 15, or at least the right half of line 15, and we're going to use that as the position. So say var current position equals, and then paste. So we'll get the position based on the percent across. Then we'll just draw another wire cube at that position. So I'll copy line 23, paste it down to 26, and use current position instead of position 2. The final thing I want to do is change the color so that we have some indication that this is the one based on the percent across. And to do that, I'll copy line 20, paste it here as the new 25, and change the color to yellow. Everything after the color change will draw in that color. So we just have to modify it right before we change it. So now I should get a box that's going to show right here, since percent across is at 0 in yellow. And as I drag it across, I can see it moving over to the other line, or the other square, the other edge. Now I've got my box, I think, pretty much working. If I press play, I can drag that percent across, and it should move across just exactly to those 2 positions. Let's just double check that. So I drag it, and yep, it looks like it's going back and forth between those 2 positions. But I want to do one more thing, because I don't like having to go in and type these positions in. Let's say that I want my second position to be, I don't know, up here or something, right in this spot. And I want to get this position. I could, of course, I'd go in and copy this and paste it in 11.75 and then paste in an 8, and that'll kind of work. But I'd like to add a shortcut so that I can do that a little bit quicker. And to do that, we're going to go back into the moving platform. And I think I'll do this right down below on draw gizmos. We're going to add a method to set position 1 and set position 2. So make a public void set position 1, and it's going to be an expression body method because it's only going to do one thing. So we're going to use the lambda statement, which is the equals and the greater than. And what we'll do is say underscore position 1 equals transform dot position. Now I'm going to go to the beginning of the line here with the home key, and we're going to add some braces and add an attribute. We're going to add a context menu attribute so that we can right click and pop this up by just right clicking on the inspector. So add that left brace, there we go. And we're going to add in the keyword context menu, and then we need to open parentheses, and we'll put name of set position 1, and then close parentheses and a closing square brace. So now I've got this here. This could be on a separate line. I could also do this one line above. Oops, let's see if I can move that properly. Cut, paste, there we go. So I could do it one line above like this, or I can do them as a one-liner so that it just kind of fits. And I prefer to just do it as the single one-liner. Then I'm going to duplicate it with Control D and do the same for position 2. So I'll just change these 1s to 2s. And let's save. Now if I go back into Unity, I should be able to just move this thing to where I want it to be for that position, right click, and then set that position to kind of lock it in. So I'm going to drag it over and say I actually just want it to be across the water. So it starts on one side. Maybe it even goes from that platform and then docks over to this platform. Now I'll right click on my moving platform and choose set position 2. And now my second position is going to be over there, and I can see that it's going to move back and forth between these two spots. With that done, I'm going to save my scene and then go into the project view and turn this into a prefab. So in my prefabs folder, I'll take the moving platform 6, drag it down, let it become a prefab, and now I should need to save my scene one more time to get rid of that star. We'll go back into plastic and we'll commit our moving platform with gizmos, or manually moving platform with gizmos. Next step is to automate its movement. So we'll say manually moving platform with gizmos, and we'll check that in.